Hi there, I'm Dave. I'm the host and founder of the upskillpodcast.com. I hope you are doing very, very well. It's great to see you again. And I have a new video for you today. We're going to discuss how to search for companies to work for coming out of the lockdown period. So without any further ado, let's dive straight in. This video is really for anyone who is currently undergoing any kind of career change or transition into a new job or industry. And it's also really designed for anyone who is not sure what's happening out there and you want to find opportunities, but you're not sure exactly how to go about evaluating opportunities out there despite all the negative impact on business, because there are opportunities out there, and I hope this video will help you to find the opportunity that you're looking for. Now, the steps that I'm going to share with you are very, very easy to do. Anyone can do this, okay? I'm going to be taking you through 6 steps, step by step. It's just up to you to do the legwork, to put in the time, to put in the effort, and to really focus, because I'm just one person and I don't know exactly what your interests are or what you're up to at the moment. I don't know what your skills are. I don't know what your experience is, and I don't know what you're going through exactly. So the very first step is understanding company stock and share price performance. And why is this important? Because it's going to allow you to see which companies have performed relatively well over the last 3 to 4 months versus the companies that haven't. And obviously most companies, the vast majority of companies, haven't been performing well, but there are a few companies that are actually doing extremely well. So we're going to learn why that is in just a moment. And there's a hard way to do this and there's an easy way to do this. And I'm going to provide you with the easy way to quickly find out which companies have been performing well versus the companies that haven't been performing well. And I'll put the link in the YouTube video or in the podcast notes so you can check it out for yourself. I've been using it for a long time. finviz.com. It's a very easy website to use and you can do your research using this website. It's absolutely fantastic and it will give you a very good snapshot of the companies that might be of interest to you, or even the industries that you might want to research a little bit more into. To give you a very quick example, I'm going to talk about NVIDIA Corporation, which is a company in the technology industry, and to be more specific, they make semiconductors. So they make chipsets that are supplied to data centers and personal computers and things like that, and they are doing very, very well. When I look at the performance over a year, they're up well over 100%, which is amazing for the year. But more amazingly is that over the last 3 months, they're still up 17%, where their competition, Amstrad and a whole bunch of QCOM, they are down. So NVIDIA are doing something pretty good. The next thing you need to be asking, well, why are they doing so well? Well, you need to research the company a little bit more. Check out some recent news. They have just delivered for international deliveries a new chipset, which is much, much faster. It has AI capabilities. It can process at much, much higher speeds. So data centers around the world are buying this new chipset to update their processing speeds. And you think about it, you think, okay, well, why are they doing that? Why do data centers need this faster chip? Well, think about all the e-commerce that's taking place now. Think about all those brick and mortar companies that are now going online, and think about all those remote workers and shoppers, let's say, who are now shopping online. Well, data centers need to process more transactions. Another reason, you may or may not be aware of this, is that there's a huge movement in the world to digital currencies. For example, cryptocurrencies. This is a very interesting space to watch, but data centers around the world are now expanding, and also private data centers, to handle the transaction fees, the transactions that take place, over the world through data centers, people buying and selling these digital assets. So there's a huge demand now for these chipsets. So you've got to ask yourself, are these temporary changes? Are these long-term changes? Has the pandemic impacted this business fundamentally, or has the pandemic caused a shift in the business operation And is this a company or industry that I'm interested about and willing to research more and learn more about? So these are the kind of questions you've got to ask yourself. So step number 1 is about understanding stocks and share price performance. Step number 2 is about focusing on one industry. There's more than enough to research in just one industry, believe me. And step 3, make a list of the good performing companies. Okay, research the news, ask yourself questions and be curious related to what's going on related to the pandemic. Now let's look at number 4, which is about using LinkedIn. So let's move on to number 4 in a little bit more detail. So step 4 is really taking the research that you did in steps 1 to 3 and bringing it to LinkedIn. Like as I said, you've got to use the finviz.com website, which is super useful. Do your research, keep track of all the companies and etc., all the news, all the links and articles and things that you're learning from, and now bring that to LinkedIn. Okay, and what I want you to do is go to the search tab in LinkedIn under companies, search for those companies, and what you're going to do is you're basically going to check their company pages on LinkedIn, you're going to check their website, career pages, social media channels, etc., etc. I don't need to tell you how to do that in too much detail. But what you're going to do is you're going to just have a look what's going on to get a feel. I'm not suggesting that you apply to those companies that you research. So please remember, this is very important. I'm not suggesting that you apply to those companies. What I am suggesting that you do is that you find companies that are doing similar things in those industries, perhaps in your own country or in your own region of the world, because I'm sure there are quite a few companies that are maybe up and coming, that perhaps are not on the stock market where you are. Perhaps it's a startup company. It could be a very well established company and they are doing something similar. So I want you to make another list of those companies and check out their pages, their websites, their social media channels, etc., etc. Because after this research into those performing companies, after you've got a very good idea about what's happening in those industries, important news and things like that, and you've related it to the current situation, that's the most important thing, that you've related it and you've asked those questions whether or not what's happening to that company is a temporary situation or it's a longer term trend. That is going to really help you to understand and to focus on the companies that are basically going to be the best ones that you can apply for jobs at. It's all about really focusing down and to give yourself the best chance of success, because you want to be with a company that's essentially doing the right things more or less, and that you want to be with a company for the long term versus a company that's maybe in a downtrending market and not doing anything to innovate or to improve their current business situation. Now, step 5 is all about understanding the people in the companies that you're researching, right? So go into LinkedIn, go to those company pages, and then explore the employees in that company. Depending on where you are in your career, you will either be attracted to positions that are similar to yours, or maybe you're changing your job role completely, so you need to look for, browse different job titles that might be of interest to you. If you have a lot of experience, that could be a benefit, especially if you're moving into a similar role. You can then tailor it to that industry and that company. But if you've just got 1 or 2 or 3 years of work experience and you want to go into a similar role, but you want to kind of upgrade yourself, upskill yourself, or reskill yourself, then do take note. Take a Trello, in Trello app, or just in a notepad. Keep note of all those profiles that you're viewing. Keep a track record of all the companies and the people and the job titles that you're researching, and just keep a little mind map maybe of all the courses and skills that are required, and experience as well for those roles. And just have a look at things that interest you, things that don't interest you, and try to get a feel where you can fit in, and try to get a feel as well for how much time that you're willing to put into learning those skills, and how much time you have available to focus, to double down on learning some skills. And check out LinkedIn Learning or Coursera, Udemy have courses that you can just try out and play around with to see if you like it or not. Okay, so step 6 is all about putting this all together, and it's about taking action and setting goals and setting priorities. Now, you've done a lot of research, so I hope you put in all the time and effort to do this properly. Otherwise, step 6 isn't going to work very well. Now, step 6 is really about sitting down, brainstorming on everything that you've collected, all the information that you've collected, right? And it's all about reflecting on certain jobs. It's about reflecting on skills and experience. It's about reflecting on the trends, exciting trends that are happening, job openings and things like that. And it's also about reflecting on where you are at right now and where you want to be in X amount of time. And it's really important to rank using a ranking method. There are many different ranking methods that you can use. Just Google it, ranking methods, and try to go through everything and try to decide which are the most important ones versus the ones that you're not very interested in, or the ones that you're extremely excited about. So step 6 is really about collecting all this information and now turning it into a list of priorities and actions to take, and companies to actually apply for. And then you need to move on to adjusting your CV and doing the application process. So if you found this video useful to you at this time, I'd love to hear from you. Let me know in any way you want. You can leave a comment, send me an email, connect with me, anything you want to do. I'm totally fine with that. If you're interested in more content like this, check out my YouTube channel, Dave Online, and over there I've got an upskill vlog where you can see more videos just like this, and you can listen to these on my podcast, which is called the Upskill Podcast. Subscribe to it on Apple Podcasts and Anchor FM for regular content just like this. And even if you want to, you can also subscribe to my newsletter. Just go to the website and check out the upskillpodcast.com. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you in the next video very, very soon. Bye for now. And remember, always, always upskill.